Hello and welcome to the video that I am uploading as a guide for new players in order for them to deal with the UI or HUD layout that they will be dealt with at the start of the game, which can be a bit cluttery. Now, to start off, English is not my first language, so if you hear me misspoke or if I am talking a bit too fast, I apologize, but let's dive right into the video. Now, if you want to start making changes with your HUD, I would suggest to teleport to the nearest area where the striking dummy is. Currently, I am on Summerford Farms, and there is a striking dummy right below here. So you just have to climb down from here or run from there and then jump down here, and you'll see the striking dummy. So here's your target. This is basically the target info bar. So when you pull up your HUD layout, it will be displayed by default. It will be displayed like this, a single element, in which every information are included in one bar. Now, sometimes the information in your target, like buffs and debuffs and the skill they are casting, is a bit small for you to see, especially if you're doing like high-end content, like say for example you're a tank and you need to be aware of the tank busters that are incoming. You need to be able to see whatever skills they are casting in order for you to react to that tank busters appropriately. So the way for you to edit information on your target is to let me go back, click the select the target bar, click UI element settings, and then select display target info independently. That way it will separate the HP, the skill they are casting, and the status information of the boss, buffs and debuffs. Now, then you can save. So in order for you to drag the element anywhere on your screen, however you like it. So I'm gonna drag it here, and then I'm gonna save it. Now, target info progress bar is like what I said, the skill that they are casting. So by default, it's a bit small, hard to see. So same thing, UI, click the target info bar, then UI element settings, and then you can adjust the size to somewhere around like maybe 120%, 140 if it's still too small for you, and then save again, and then you can drag it anywhere you like, where you can easily see it. So let's say, for example, I drag it here. Now, info status, buffs and debuffs again. Gonna click the UI element settings and then change the size to whatever size you prefer. Drag it somewhere where you can easily see it near the boss and save it, and let us see how it looks like. So let me change my job to someone who can deal dots. All right. So 1, 2, 3. As you can see, the buffs are the debuffs are there listed, um, and which is really helpful if you need to keep track of enemy buffs and debuffs. Um, Debuffs not really, but enemy buffs are something you need to keep track on, because some high-end raids will have like a buff indicator that will impact the run of the raid, that may cause a wipe. So again, this is where you can see them, and also one of the primary indicator if it's a debuff or if it's a buff, if the shape of the icon is pointing downwards, that's normally a debuff. If the shape of the icon is pointing upwards, that's basically a buff. So if you see that element here in the enemy, that's a debuff. But if you see an icon that is pointing upwards, that is a buff. So you have to be careful on that if you need to make sure that you are not giving your healers a hard time whenever you are tanking, or if you need to do like a party mitigation to reduce damage for AoE damage by bosses. So another important element in the HUD that you need to also check is for your own character itself. Now, um, I'm gonna go back to my HUD layout, and then I'm gonna put this first into the default setting. Okay, so here is where all of the buffs, debuffs are listed for my character. As you can see, they are gonna be lined up from here to there, from left side to right side, and sometimes it can be a bit confusing, and also a bit hard to see, a bit hard to track. Now, the way you can deal with it is to separate, again, same with the target info, is to separate the elements into three groups. So the way to do it is um, click status effects, and then click the element settings, and then select split element into three groups. Now, it will split the elements into buffs, debuffs, and then other status, and then you can go ahead and save it. All right, and then I'm gonna test it out for you to see. As you can see, there's my buff right there. I'm gonna add another buff right there. I'm gonna add another buff right there. So as you can see, the buffs are listed here on the left hand side. Now, one thing to note is for the arrangement of the buffs on how they appear progressively, you can also arrange it how you want it to appear on your screen. So currently, the way I do it is for enhancements or buffs, I put it on left justified, so that whenever I gain a buff, it will appear from here, and then when I gain another buff, and a new buff will appear from here, and then new buff here, and then so on and so forth, until it fills the entire space here, which is kind of a bit impossible. And then for debuffs, it is the opposite, which is from right side to left. Sorry, from left side to left. So I'm gonna display the debuff. So I'm gonna, oh shoot. Okay. Alright, Chocobo, stop attacking. Okay. So let me change my job into something that can easily acquire a debuff. So alright. Okay. As you can see, my character died and it has a debuff on the right hand side that will appear from here, and then if I gain another debuff, it will appear again here, here, up until it fills out the entire thing. So that way you can easily track the buffs and debuffs you have, especially if you are tanking. There are some mechanics in the game, especially in the high end content, that will inflict a debuff and a stacking mechanic with it, and you will have to do tank swaps in order for you to survive the next mechanic of the game. So it is important, especially for tanks, to monitor their debuff for tank swapping mostly. Now, another thing that I'd like to share, which is a bit advanced. Not all new players need to do this, but it's something that I would like to share with you in order for you to have a cleaner look of a UI or HUD. So right now, I can't say that this is the cleanest I can make it look in the game, but I somehow able to manage it, because when I was starting out the game, I have a lot of like buttons I need to click here, and it's so cluttery that it's sometimes ruins my immersion of the game, especially when I'm walking around trying to like see all of the scenery here. The less information you can see on the game, the more better for immersion, at least in my opinion. So The way you can deal with this is with the involvement of user macros. Now, if you are not interested in hearing this, you can just leave the video and go along with your merry way. But if you want to um, have a manageable HUD, and also um, make it so that you are not really confused on the information that you are seeing on your screen, or you're not being like overwhelmed by it, here's how you can do it. So go back to the HUD layout, and then you need to make all of the arrangements in your UI in the HUD layout 1. Say for example you arrange it this way, and then you save it. And by the way, I almost forgot. If the HUD element here is purple-ish in color, it means that it's not gonna appear on your screen. So it's gonna be invisible rather. So keep that in mind. Now, again, going back to HUD layout number 1. So if you are gonna be, if you want to copy all of the information you can see here to another HUD element, let me see here. All right, to another HUD layout. Say for example here, this is like the default layout you will see when you boot up the game for the first time and you need to arrange everything. If you want to copy all of the arrangements you have here, all you have to do is go to select HUD layout 1, go to HUD layout settings, and then choose the base slot, which is HUD 1, and then choose the new slot, which is HUD 4. When you click execute, it will copy all of the elements in the HUD1 into HUD4, so that when you switch to HUD4, it's going to be the same arrangement that you had. I already did this with the HUD number 2, so as you can see, the only difference is this one. Let me try copying it again to update the element. There you go. So if I switch, it's basically the same arrangement. Now, why am I saying this? It's because we will now involve macro on making a cleaner look on your UI. So, um, one of the main selling points of this game is that you can level uh, all jobs slash classes on one character, and you can like you can gear them up any way you like. So here here is my character information. So press C on your keyboard if you are on your PC, and here are the gear set list. Now, as you can see, I have a lot of gear set list. So say for example you have a new set for a new job that you are trying out. In order for you to save the set, is you click this plus sign here. It will have add a new set, and then you can drag it on your on one of your hotbars, so that you can easily swap it from one job to another. So say for example, I am a ninja currently. I want to, say for example, swap to, let's say, a black mage. Where's the black mage? Here. So let me just put here black mage and ninja here. Okay, so I'm gonna close this. All right. So if I click this, I'm gonna be a black mage. If I click this, I'm gonna go back to being a ninja. Now, why is this important for you to save your gear sets? It is so that it is convenient for you to switch jobs whenever you like, anywhere in the open world or in the main cities, as long as you don't have aggro or you're not in combat. Now, I'm gonna go back to the HUD layout again, and then I have arranged a separate layout where all of my job classes are job classes gear set list are displayed in order for it not to appear on HUD layout 1. As you can see, I don't have the job classes here. Majority of the like people I've been seeing playing the game have all of their job classes displayed on their screen, which is it's okay. It's how they play it. But for me, in my opinion, I want to have a cleaner look in my UI, so it's not gonna be here. So if I go to HUD layout number 3, there you go. This is how it's gonna look like. The quest list is also hidden. I can only see the map. There's no bar here. It's only the job and the skills that the current job is displaying. So as you can see, all of the jobs are in this hotbar. Now, the way for you to switch from HUD layout 1 and HUD layout 2 is where the macros come in. So if you want to switch from HUD layout 1 to HUD layout 3, the macro you need to do is you need to go to system first and then user macros, and then put a name on your on the macro command HUD3, and then type in /HUD layout 3, and then once you're done typing, click the actually let me just give it an example. So I'm gonna click this. I'm gonna select an icon. I'm gonna put it there, and then HUD layout 3. And then once I'm done typing, HUD 3. No, it's 3. All right. Once I'm done typing, I'm gonna drag and drop this so that when I click this, it's gonna transfer to HUD layout number 3, which is pretty convenient. Now, let me remove that because I already have the macro set up for this. Remove. Right, so HUD layout 3, and there you go. All of the gear sets I have for each jobs are displayed, including crafters and gatherers. Now, since you are here on HUD layout 3, how am I gonna go back to my previous layout? Because I have some of the other actions or skills that I need to use that are on HUD layout 1. Well, the way for you to do it is, again, the same thing you need to do. Oh, wrong. Is you go to user macro. Again, create a macro from anything here, and then edit the and then put a command HUD layout number 1, and then drag it again somewhere. Delete that, and drag it again somewhere on the hotbar on HUD layout 3, and then you can click that to go back to HUD layout number 1. So yeah, this is basically how you can manage your HUD. As you can see, it's a bit cleaner, not really that all clean compared to the other people who are like more of an expert when it comes to this game. I've been playing this game for only like since year 2015, I think. So yeah, that's basically how you can arrange or make changes with your HUD layout. Now, I hope this video has been really helpful. I've been talking for like more than 15 minutes. I'd like to keep it short, but it's a bit complicated for me to explain it in layman's term, because like what I said, English is not my first language, so I really apologize if I wasted 20 minutes of your time, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and I wish you have a good day. If you are playing the game, and I hope you are having a good time and enjoy the content this game has to offer. This is a good game, and I'm glad that a lot of people are giving this game, trying this game out. I play in Asia, uh, and uh, uh, and I hope someday I can get to queue with you guys. Uh, Thank you, and have a nice day.